folks can see PowerPoint. And then
All right.
get this off the screen as well. So thank you all for joining us today. We're honored to be able to share with you all about our program. My name is Matt Dietrich. I am the Assistant Director of Admissions here at the School of International Affairs at Penn State University. You have to forgive me here for a second. I'm readjusting my screens. And I'm joined by my colleague, the Director of Admissions, Christy Percio. We're excited again. Hello, yes, sorry. We're excited to share with you about our program. Feel free to ask any questions as you go along. If you're catching this on the live stream, we have an opportunity for you as well to ask questions via email. Or if you're catching this on the recording, please reach out to us on email. We can share our email a little later. It's on the screen right now. And feel free to reach out to us at any time. We're happy to help you through this process. So without further ado, since we're limited on time, we'll go ahead and just get started. Penn State University is located in central Pennsylvania, which is in the northeast of the United States. We are quite literally located in the smack dab center of Pennsylvania, and we're uniquely located between 4 major U.S. cities, including Pittsburgh, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, and New York. But we're also located close to an international city, Toronto, which our students frequent and visit at their leisure on the weekends or during break, during the summer, and those types of things. Students are also going to Baltimore or Boston and cities close by that are not Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, New York, or Pittsburgh. But I highlight these specifically because we do take our students on various trips, career services trips that we can talk a little bit about later. The Lewis Katz building is home to the School of International Affairs at Penn State University. That is the building in the top left of the screen. We are the sister school to Penn State Law, and that unique relationship allows our students to take up to 9 credits of law classes to fulfill their concentrations. And we'll talk a little bit about concentrations later. Our building is really cool. Students really enjoy using the building throughout the day. And 24 hours a day. So 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, almost 365 days a year, students can use this building to study or hang out with their friends, relax. We have a Panera Bread in the building for coffee and snacks and studying as well. The bottom left picture is a typical classroom that our students are taking classes in. It's technologically friendly. So for example, during COVID, it was really easy for us to shift to a remote environment. Students are able to zoom into the classroom. Professors were able to zoom into the classroom, and it made it really easy to continue learning. And we didn't really have to take a break for that. So in the future, any guest speakers that are zooming in, it makes it really easy for that as well. On the right is where we typically hold our graduation or our commencements, our opening orientation every single year, as well as other student events, guest speakers, and things like that. So let's talk a little bit about our program. We do offer a 2-year, 42-credit professional master's degree in international affairs. It is a professional program, so we are designed to help students get the skills that they need to get really great jobs in international affairs, broadly defined, after they graduate. So it's a little different than an academic program, whereas typically academic programs are really geared towards helping you to go get a PhD, but I don't want to scare you away. If you are interested in a PhD, our program does have support around that through faculty mentorship and our career services office. So if you do want to go get a PhD after you graduate, we have plenty of support around that. And we do have a subset of students that do go get PhDs after they complete our program. It is highly interdisciplinary. So students come from a wide range of backgrounds in STEM, business, liberal arts, humanities, social sciences. And so they bring a lot of that experience into the classroom within our program. So if you're asking yourself, I have an engineering degree, do I qualify for this program? The short answer is yes. You don't have to have a political science degree or a liberal arts degree in order to be considered for admission into our program. And we encourage you to apply if you don't have a traditional liberal arts degree. And then while you're in the program, you'll notice that a lot of our faculty members are interdisciplinary in nature, and you'll touch on a lot of facets of international affairs while studying in our degree. Every student is required to complete a capstone, whether that be a master's paper or an internship. Most students are choosing the internship given the professional nature of our program. Neither is right or wrong, but we do expect every student to kind of have a bit of a plan when they come into our program. We have elite experienced faculty. One thing I love about our faculty is that some of them are practitioners in international affairs, so they have real world experience, former U.S. ambassadors and people who have worked in Washington, D.C., in the White House for the Department of Homeland Security, Department of Defense, and many, many more. And then we also have scholars of international affairs who have been in academia their entire lives, but are top scholars in their field. And then we have a mix of both, some who have practiced in international affairs and some who are just and also have scholarship or academia experience in international affairs combined. And that really creates an elite experienced faculty core within our program. We also offered a 3-tiered advising approach. So every student is going to get an academic advisor, a career services advisor, and a faculty mentor. And we've also launched a peer mentorship program and an alumni mentorship program. So every student is going to be paired up with a second-year student to help you get ingrained and acquainted with our community, with our country, with our state, and with our program here at Penn State, as well as alumni mentorship to help you build a network while you're in our program and to give you an understanding of what graduate school really is all about while you go through the degree here at Penn State. We are a member of the Association for Professional Schools and International Affairs. This really just speaks to the rigor and prestige of our program. It's really, it's not easy to be an APSIA member, and we're really privileged and honored to be a part of this consortium of top schools in international affairs. There are only about 38 schools within this consortium throughout the world, and we're proud to be a member of that. We do also offer a flexible and customizable curriculum. Every student in their first year is going to take 6 core classes in international affairs, and then in their second year form their concentration. You can choose one of 12 concentrations or completely create your own, and that flexibility is made possible by the ability to take classes in any graduate program here at Penn State University, including the Smeal College of Business or the College of the Liberal Arts or Health and Human Development, and so many more. That is a great segue into talking about Penn State more broadly. SIA is the gateway to a great university. Every student that comes through our program is not just required to stay in this building, but they can take classes anywhere throughout the university. Penn State is a Tier 1 research institution. It is also a top 100 global university, according to U.S. News and World Report, as well as topuniversities.com. Students can take electives in 14 Penn State graduate school disciplines, some of them ranking in the top 10. You can see examples below in the pictures of our students engaging in programs that are not the School of International Affairs, but they're gaining credit for our degree program. And so I believe both of these programs are in the College of Engineering. They're qualitative in nature, not quantitative, so don't let that scare you as well. But it just shows that our students are interdisciplinary. And again, here are some examples of the colleges that our students are taking classes in. And then finally, I want to touch on the Penn State Alumni Association. It is the largest alumni association in the world. It has about 175,000 plus dues-paying members of the Penn State Alumni Association. And it just speaks to how vast the Penn State network goes even after you graduate. We have a tight-knit, diverse, and global community within the School of International Affairs specifically. I will say that Penn State is a top 25 school in international student enrollment. And so if you're concerned about studying in the United States or concerned about studying at Penn State, please know that Penn State is very international student friendly. We have over 70 multicultural and international student organizations here on campus. But even within our own little community at SIA, our students represent over 10 countries. They're from all over the United States. They speak many different languages, and they come from a lot of different undergraduate majors. Again, I touched on this earlier, but if you have a STEM degree or a business degree, for example, you don't feel like you can't apply to our program, we will absolutely consider your application for admission. And we'll talk a little bit about the application in a little bit. And we're also diverse in many other ways, including age, race, and ethnicity, and so many more. Again, we have great career services here at the School of International Affairs. Over 90% of our students are finding employment within 1 year of graduation. We offer great resume and cover letter writing, professional development workshops. Every student gets a weekly career and internship digest. We take our students to DC and New York, Pittsburgh, and Philadelphia every year to meet with employers and alumni in those cities. We have great networking opportunities. We bring recruiters to our building all of the time to meet with you. And then we have alumni panels as well. And then finally, career support post-graduation. So for every career shift and change that you make, we will offer that support for you after you leave our program. I wanted to then also show you how awesome our career services are by giving you some examples of students that have gone through our program and have fabulous jobs in various sectors throughout the world. Nancy is one particular example. Nancy is originally from Lebanon, but currently works in the United Nations in Vienna. And this is just a brief testimonial of Nancy's experience while she was at the School of International Affairs and how it really helped her gain a lot of skills that she needed and that she uses even today in her current position. Here is another example, Amani, who graduated in 2017. She started off at the United Nations, but now is back in her home country of Saudi Arabia. And she speaks to some of the experiential learning within our program and how that has allowed her to gain the valuable experience that she needs for her current position at the MISC Foundation. And then finally, Jordan, who is originally from the UAE. He works at East Arkansas Community College here in the United States. So he does have a job within the US, and he graduated in 2020. And he just speaks to some of the professors and the students within the program and how they helped him build the right skills that he needs for his current position as well. So really quickly, how to apply to our program. First, I want to bring your attention to very important deadlines. To be considered for merit-based scholarships, you need to apply by January 31st, 2023. This is a very important deadline. So please go ahead and write that down now so that you don't forget. We do have a final application deadline by March 21st of 2023, but we really, really recommend that you apply by January 31st. Otherwise, you may not be considered for merit-based scholarships. Those who are considered for merit-based scholarships must have a entirely completed application by January 31st. This includes your letters of recommendation and all supplementary materials that I'll go over here in just a minute. Even though you may be considered for merit-based scholarships, scholarships cannot cover the entirety of tuition, and we do recommend that you seek external funding to help cover the remainder of any scholarships that you may receive. Scholarships are not guaranteed, and I'll talk a little bit about that later as well. So visit our website and you'll see the application requirements there. At the time of submission, please include a current resume or CV. You'll also need to upload a copy of your official transcripts that include the conferred degree. And then you'll also need to upload a statement of purpose. There are 2 prompts on our website, so please read over those at your leisure so that you can understand what you need to do for the statement of purpose. This is the very most important part of the application. We highly recommend that you spend quality time in crafting a really good statement of purpose. Other supplemental materials, which are also required but can be submitted after the application has been submitted in its entirety, are the letter of recommendation. So when you complete the application, you'll include 2 letters, 2 people who will write letters of recommendation for you. They'll receive an automated email for them to apply their letter of recommendation to the application for you. If you have any questions about that, please let us know. Typically, we see students ask one faculty member from their undergraduate degree to write them a letter of recommendation. And then the other letter of recommendation can be someone like a supervisor or even another faculty member. But typically, at least one faculty member we recommend for your letters of recommendation. All international students will need to provide proof of English language proficiency, whether that be TOEFL or IELTS. The minimum score for the TOEFL is an 80 on the internet-based test. And then for IELTS is a minimum score of 6.5 overall band score. If you're taking the TOEFL, please have those scores sent to Penn State using the code 2660. And if IELTS, please select the Penn State Graduate School or Penn State University when you're finished completing the exam. Your conferred degree must be comparable to a U.S. four-year bachelor's degree. If you have ECTS credits, you must have 240 of those in order to be eligible for admission at the Penn State Graduate School. If you're a Fulbright recipient, congratulations, but you should also upload your award letter with award details. This is extremely important if you're a Fulbright recipient, because there may be additional benefits that we can get for you to the School of International Affairs, to the Penn State Graduate School. And so we need to make sure that we can verify that you are truly a Fulbright recipient. So please put your award letter in the application so that we can help you through the admissions process. And then, of course, our GRE is not required. So if you don't have to take the GRE exam, or you don't want to take the GRE exam, you don't have to. Submitting GRE scores will not negatively impact your application for admission. And so we want to ensure that you can successfully complete our application and not have to worry about that. So feel free to not submit those if you don't want to. Okay, so some important application tips and reminders, and I'm going to go through this fairly quickly. One, make sure you have your English proficiency score sent to the Penn State Graduate School as soon as possible using code 2660. That's for TOEFL. For IELTS, just select the Pennsylvania State University. You can do this before you even apply to our program. So if you have scores already and you're saying to yourself, I want to apply, just have them sent now so that there's no delay in your application. Please review the country eligibility webpage and submit all required documents for the eligibility review. You can find this right on our application website. This is really important as well for international applicants to ensure that you're sending all required documents to the Penn State Graduate School. Upload a copy of your official transcripts at the time of application. Otherwise, you may delay the admissions process. Please ensure that your recommenders have written and submitted their letters to the application by January 31st, 2023. And that means that you'll have to just give them some time. And we recommend having a conversation with your letters, with your recommenders about a month in advance. So don't walk up to them at January 20th and ask them for a letter of recommendation by January 31st. Please make sure you're having a conversation with them now, because we want to make sure that you have best consideration for any potential merit-based scholarships. Answer all application questions for best consideration. If you leave anything blank, it might keep you from being eligible or greatly delay the admissions process. And finally, after you submit the application, search for external means of funding your education, whether that be scholarships, educational loans, out of pocket, and others. And we have some resources we can send you as well. So funding your graduate education. Of course, every applicant, as long as they submit by January 31st, 2023, will be considered for merit-based scholarships from the School of International Affairs. Again, scholarships can discount anywhere from 15 to 50% of tuition, but are not guaranteed. So we highly recommend that you don't expect that we will give you a scholarship if you're admitted into our program. And so we want you to be encouraged to look for external means and then allow our scholarship to be kind of the cherry on top, or the icing on the cake, if you will. Again, they're not guaranteed and they're extremely limited. And we don't want you to just expect that SIA will be able to cover your tuition, because we won't be able to. External to Penn State or other sources of funding can be found on our website, or I'm sorry, on this slide right now. So if you have the ability to take a screenshot of this, please go ahead and do that now, and I'll give you a second to do so. But we can also send you this list to search out any external means of funding again, we want to give you the best opportunity to get here to Penn State, and we want to be as transparent as possible with you. And so this is a way that we can do that. And I'm going to go ahead, give you one more second to screenshot. And if not, then I'll just go ahead and go to the next slide. So other financial considerations, health insurance is mandatory for all international students and their dependents and will appear on the tuition bill. Typically that's around $3,300, but again, sometimes tuition can increase by about 3% every year. And so you can expect to see that increase a little bit for next year. Admitted international students will also need to meet the financial guarantee requirements, which includes 12 months of estimated expenses in order to matriculate and receive an I-20. This is about $58,900 per year. If you receive any scholarship from our program or any external scholarship, you can take $58,900 less whatever scholarship you receive to meet and put that towards the financial guarantee as well. You'll work with our international programs office to make sure you're meeting those requirements. Let me get through this quick. And finally, if you want to learn more and stay connected, please scan this QR code so that you can join our mailing list to receive an application fee waiver codes and more information about our degree. We will be sending out application fee waiver codes here in the next few days. So if you want to receive a free application fee waiver, please go ahead and scan that, fill out the form, stay connected with us. And we have more information webinars coming up in the future. We do have one tomorrow as well. So if you would like to engage with our community and learn even more about the application process, we have about a 1-hour information session coming up that you can participate in so that you can learn how to put together a really polished application for admission to our program. I want to thank you for your time today. And if there are any questions from anyone in the Zoom, we'd be happy to answer those. I know we're limited on time, but we'd love to be able to answer any questions that you may have. Thanks again.
Thank you so much, Matthew. I think you can have all the time we need because this is our last session for the day. So we'll be here for questions from the audience or questions from us at Education SA. But definitely we'll leave it first to our participants if they have any questions, and then we'll take it on.
Absolutely.
All right, so first question, how do we submit the letters of recommendation?
Yeah, this is a great question. So when you are completing the application through the Penn State Graduate School website, you will have a place, there will be a tab within the application where you will insert the name and the email address of the person writing your letter of recommendation. Once you submit the application, you click submit, then the information of the person that you put in there will receive an email, an automated email. In that instance, they will then upload their letter on your behalf through a secure entry. They'll get a unique link to your application that they can upload the letter of recommendation that they wrote for you. And then it will attach to the application for you. We don't recommend that they send their letters to myself or my colleague Christy. We really highly recommend that they use the link because that's the most secure and best way to attach the letter for you. I just wanted to throw that caveat in there, but that's a great question. I hope that helps.
Matt, if I could just jump in and add one piece to that. Anybody who is considering submitting an application, you're going to want to have a conversation with your recommenders and just let them know about our January 31st scholarship deadline. We do have to have both letters of recommendation uploaded to your file by January 31st to consider you for merit-based scholarships. So just a little piece of advice, when you're talking with your recommenders and you're letting them know that you're applying to our program, just make them aware of that January 31st deadline, and also give them, I would say, at least 3 weeks, because we know how faculty and sometimes recommenders can be extremely busy. Just give them some lead time with these recommendations.
All right, thank you, Christy, for that point there. Other questions? do you offer assistantships for international students?
This is another great question, and this is one we get pretty often. So unfortunately, due to the professional nature of our program and the funding model of the university, because we don't offer PhD programs, we're not able to offer any assistantships for international students. I will say, though, that all international students are considered the same when it comes to merit-based scholarships. International students and domestic students will be considered on equal footing as far as the merit-based scholarships go. And then I want to add in as well that there are graduate assistantships at Penn State University that our students have successfully secured, not through our department, but through other departments within the university. College of the Liberal Arts seems to take on a lot of graduate assistants, but other administrative units as well take on graduate assistants that have some pretty substantial benefits to them. In order to be eligible, though, for any graduate assistantships or to even apply to them, all students must be fully matriculated. And with international students, this means meeting the financial guarantee and then also being issued an I-20. And then once you're through the I-20 and visa process, you've already booked your visa and you're on your way to getting your visa, then you can begin to apply. So this is why we recommend you apply really early, so as soon as you can, so that you can get an admissions decision and begin working through the matriculation process, so you can be seeking out some graduate assistant or teaching assistant positions here at Penn State University. Once you're fully matriculated, we can begin sending you those materials so that you can seek those out. Unfortunately, we can't help students find those or secure them, but we can give you the resources to begin searching those out. But that's a really good question. Thank you for that.
All right.
I have another question.
Yes.
So in your presentation, you mentioned that like the degree has to be equal to the 4-year like university degree undergraduate. In Lebanon, like some universities are like they follow the French system, so it's like 3 years instead of 4. Do they have to like do an extra year, or is it like equivalent?
So it will need to be equivalent to a 4-year bachelor's degree within the United States. The graduate school policy is really, really strict on that. Are the students earning ECTS credits, or is it something else?
It's like LMD, like some of the universities use LMD.
Okay.
It's like 180 credits per degree.
Okay. So in these scenarios, the graduate school will require students to either get a postgraduate diploma or a 1-year master's degree or something like that to meet the 4-year equivalent, or meet the equivalent of 240 ECTS credits, which is typically in a European thing, not necessarily Middle East, but if it's based on the French system, maybe it's somewhat similar. But yes, the graduate school will be very, very strict about the 4-year bachelor's, the equivalent of a 4-year bachelor's degree within the United States. Yeah, thank you for that question. That's a good question too.
Well, there's a lot of good questions that half an hour will not be enough, but we'll definitely make sure to channel those questions to you once we get them from those who are interested in Penn State programs. I have a question about the 58,900. Is that the total cost of attendance?
So for and I should throw in this very important point, is that is for the 2022-2023 academic year, but typically this is the there's a typical 3% increase every single year, which is announced in July by the Board of Trustees. So for 2023, we don't know what that financial guarantee requirement will be, but the International Programs Office here at Penn State will announce what that is for each student. What am I trying to say? Oh, this includes the tuition, and the expected living expenses for one academic or for one whole year, 12 months in this area in State College. So that's what that includes. It's all inclusive. I'm just the medium for sharing that information, but the Global Programs Office here at Penn State, they're the experts, and they'll be able to share more information if the student gets to the point of needing their I-20.
Of course.
Yep.
I mean, it's all down to the profile of the student, the research proposal, the personal statement, their potential of likely succeeding in the program, and adding their own kind of perspective to the university and to the community at large and to the field. So there are many variables that come into deciding on financial aid packages, especially when it comes to graduate studies.
That's right.
Yeah. It's good that you have Education USA there also as an external source for those who were not able to take that screenshot or just take a picture of the additional sources or external sources for financial aid. But also, please do reach out to us. In Lebanon, we are kind of the point of connection between you as potential or prospective students and the United States institutions, Penn State, and all the others. We're here to help and to channel your inquiries through to the universities of interest. Any other questions?
We have about 4 more minutes, and then we got to hop on another webinar. So we're
all
happy
right.
to take
Well,
any other questions.
I'll leave you go in case we had any questions. We'll get them and we'll channel them to you. I want to thank you so much, Matthew and Christy. There you go. You have a link from Christy to join their upcoming webinar. So please also, we will include that in our follow-up email to everyone who attended the session. And again, I want to thank you so much, and good luck on your next webinar. Hopefully we'll get to see you later in our next sessions.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much for having us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Matthew. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, you too. Bye.